So this presentation I am displaying before you is a part of a component, a chapter on that was designed, compiled by me as a part to the self-learning Swayam module that was launched as a part of Swayam course by Professor Sunil Dutt sir. But for making the learning available to all, so I'm sharing that presentation over here. That's it. So intellectual property rights in context of print learning material. First of all, I would like to know from you, what is intellectual property? What is intellectual property? Anyone from remote, who are connected remotely?
Creation of mind.
Creation of the mind. Good. Anyone from here? Any clicks from here? What, according to you, is intellectual property?
Patent over an idea.
Patent over an idea. Good. Anyone else? That's it. So when we say when we refer to the term intellect, it refers to the power of the mind, creation of the mind. When you said propose patent, so patent is one mechanism to protect IP. I would not say to protect IP, to protect the interest of the creator over the creation, because it is not like that you are protecting and keeping something in a shield. You are trying that it shall not go into the public. What does patent mean? Patent means that it is a document that it just certify that you are the owner of that document. When you get a patent certificate from any approving body, authority in any country, it certifies that you are the owner of that. And what is your protection? It gives you the scope of protection. That's it. But it is so illicit, and it has to be made mandatorily in public domain, that even if, let us say, you are or I am the patent holder, if I die, but if I have done an agreement with someone, he shall or she shall be in a position to make the exact replica without requiring any of my intervention. कि उनको मेरे से बात करने की जरूरत नहीं होना चाहिए. That document is such a elucid, well drafted document, and it is placed on each country's database. चाहे यूरोपियन पेटेंट ऑफिस का डेटाबेस हो, चाहे यूएस पेटेंट ऑफिस का हो, चाहे वो इंडियन पेटेंट ऑफिस का हो. Another thing I would like to clarify regarding patent is all these rights are territorial rights. Territorial rights means if you have to get a patent in India, you have to file for the protection with the India. And any technology that product you see formally being built in India, its patent must be filed in India, or it may come under another arrangement. Maybe it may be through licensing or another import-export norms. That's it. That is how it happens. Because certain companies do not pitch their products in Indian market. They say that these are for these particular countries. Maybe US or US says this is for, let us say, Apple. Certain Apple products are for US only, not for these countries, because they have followed all regulations of those countries where they are authorized to sell. That's it. So when we refer to the another response was from one of our online colleagues was, it is the creation of the mind idea. Yes, it is the creation of the mind. That's it. But it is creation of the mind. All creation of the minds are not property. We have to understand that all creations of the mind are not property, because property has its own definition. What does property refers to? It refers generally to something that can be traded, that can be bought or sold, or we can say that which has a commercial value. That's it. We have a plot, we can sell it. In exchange, we get in today's term, we get the money. In barter system, somebody is cultivating rice. You share the rice produced with another party. Another party is producing wheat. They give you the wheat. That's it. But in context of property, in today's term, its trade is in terms of money normally. That's it. So when we combine these two terms, we have intellect property. It refers to the ideas and creation of the mind having commercial application and value. Commercial value, economic value. Value we studied in the morning with our colleagues. So when we, for example, I will elucidate it with an example. In a classroom situation, some student is a very good, I would say, cartoonist. He makes that cartoon of a teacher. From the classroom situation, it may be an act of indiscipline. because he is drawing the cartoon. But when we say that this cartoon character is put for a sale on for rupees 10 in a stationery shop as a greeting card, it becomes your subject matter of, that's a subject matter of IP. So it becomes property. Now it becomes property because somebody would like to buy that for giving it as a gift to somebody. So intellectual property, creation of the mind. Intellectual property refers to the creation ideas of the mind having commercial value. We have to understand one thing. When we add the third word to it, it becomes intellectual property rights. What is IPRs? It refers to the legal rights associated with intellectual property. That's it. Why do we need rights?
So that somebody else may not actually put up a setup to commercially benefit out of it.
Okay, so
There's no
rights.
legal authority.
ओके, तो जब भी कोई प्रॉब्लम होता है उसमें दो पार्ट होते हैं प्रॉब्लम को अप्रोच करने के, एक प्रिवेंटिव मेजर और एक करेक्टिव मेजर. One is preventive measure, one is corrective measure. Something wrong has happened, you are trying to mitigate your whatever intervention you take to mitigate the after effect. For example, the train accident happened in Odisha. Whatever things were done later on, it formed a part to the corrective measures. But before happening of a particular event, whatever arrangement you make is forms a part to the preventive measures. So rights are provisioned that, as by the Constitution, we have right to information, right to education, right to equality, freedom of expression. Why these have been provisioned? They have been provisioned because as a citizen of this country, I know what are the rights of the person sitting in front of me, and he knows what are my rights. That's it. You got it? Freedom of expression may be there. He may put his opinion. I may put my opinion. But it is not like that we fight and we start punching each other. That's it. So to avoid conflict, to handle the conflict, rights are provisioned as a preventive measures, so that conflict doesn't occur. Even still, these rights exist, but people do violation. It happens. For example, one of the very famous school in the neighborhood of Sector 26, Chandigarh, they were denying the admission under right to education to the put forth by the government for the underprivileged students from that community. What happened? CBSE and the Chandigarh administration cancelled their affiliation. Next year, they can't admit the students. That's it. So it is a corrective measure, preventive measure. That's it. Right to, we shall not hurt each other, but it happens. What happens? Court of law is there. If sir punch me, that's it. FIR will be lodged. Police will come into picture. If police is unable to resolve the matter will go to the court, district court, maybe high court, maybe at the apex level, Supreme Court. That's it. In the same way, since intellectual property is something that is having a commercial application and value, so certain dispute will be over there also. So IP is in place so that you know that I shall not use Amardev's idea and put it in my name, and I know I shall not use your work and put it in my name, even if I do or you do. So there is a court of law. Relevant authorities where you can complain, where you can put your complaint registered, and there is a provision for fine to imprisonment also. If you violate the intellectual work of any other person, if you are held responsible, that's it. There is a provision for fine also to imprisonment also. And even if you are in a government job, it is all the more very I would say tough situation for you. You may even lose your job over these issues. These may seem trivial or small issues, but they are not small issues. And if you know that what are your rights, you can take ownership of your work. Nobody else can exploit you, can say that no, Amardev is junior in the system, and whatever work he has done, nobody can portray that it is our work. If you are aware. If you are not aware, you will keep on making the project reports, you will keep on making the documents, and the things are being enjoyed by your seniors, sorry to say. Sorry to say, है ना? That's it. So intellectual property rights refers to the legal rights associated with intellectual property. Why do we need IP and IPS? To provide for recognition and reward for original effort. For example, someone has done a good intellectual work. It says that for that he or she shall get the name, and not only the name, he or she shall get the, that's a part of the monetary incentive also if it is being traded off. That's it. And second is one is to provide for protection of original effort and preventing its misuse through legal mechanism. मीन्स अगर आपकी परमिशन के बगैर कोई यूज करता है किसी अनइंटेंडेड पर्पसेस के लिए, आप उसको रोक पाए. मैं इसको क्विकली कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैं अपने मेन थीम कॉपीराइट्स पे आऊँगा, जिस थीम के लिए हम आज जुड़े हैं. बट हाँ, कोई क्वेश्चन होगा तो यू कैन आस्क मी. दैट्स इट. सो आई एम बिल्डिंग द बैकग्राउंड. So essential features that characterizes a property. There are certain parameters on which IP and conventional or physical property are similar to each other. So first one is monetary or commercial value. Now the features come of IP. It will be referred to as IP if it has a monetary or commercial value. That's it. Documentation. If you wish to get a ownership, copyright, you will get a ownership certificate. Patent, ownership certificate. Industrial design, ownership certificate. That's it. Certain documentation, certain forms you have to fill. Those forms can be filled online also, creating a login account, or it can be filled offline also. That's it. Government issuing agency that is legally authorized. Each ownership is provided by a government backed department. For example, if we wish to get the land registered in our name, Register of Land Records is a relevant authority. Tahsildar and Tahsil office is there. In the same way, Indian patent offices are there that provides you, that's it, that backs you, that provides you the certificate, relevant certificate. For example, industrial design is also being looked after by Indian Patent Office. That's it. Property description. For example, when we protect the land in our name, it is written what land is on the east, west, north, south, what are the dimensions, everything is there. In the same way, you file a patent, your protection is over your claims. What claims you put, you wish to get protected under the Indian patent application. Ownership of the property, name of the owner is there. Why ownership is important? Ownership is important because for trade to happen, trade will only happen if you are the rightful owner. For example, I will take one personal example. When I was teaching at NIT Jalandhar, so we have to start the class at 7:30 in the morning. By 8 o'clock, we have to start the class, and no multi-skill attendant will come before the scheduled office time. So I was on a contractual position. So what I used to do in the evening, no doubt it was an act of indiscipline, does it? In the evening, I used to take the projector, put it in my bag, take to my home. In the morning, I will go on my bike, install the projector and start my class at 7:45 or 8. That's it. What happens if lure comes to my mind that you will work for 6 months and then you will get a salary? Why not sell this projector in market? It is 2 lakh or 1.5 lakh or 3 lakh product. That's it. So if I go to market to sell the product, whether that person will buy or not, he will ask me whether you are rightful owner or not. For projector and these devices, it works. But for mobile devices, for other devices where it is a chances are that you will get traceable, it doesn't work. For example, if your all ownership documents are there with the institution, if they lodge a FIR that it has been stolen, we are unable to trace it. That's it. Then such warrant will be there. So nobody would like to buy a property, any property from anyone who is not the owner of that property. Only it can be in case of apples. If the truck opens up on the road, people take away the apples and they sell in the market. Then there may be a chance. Even then, now everyone has a mobile. If you get captured, that's it. You can be convicted. That's it. So time duration of ownership. That's it. Everything has it comes with the expiry date. That's it. So time duration for which your IP is protected. That's it. It is in case of patent, copyright, trademarks, and all these also. And fee also for getting your, for example, if we wish to get the land or house registered in our name, we have to pay revenue, stamp duty, and all. That's it. In the same way, you have to pay certain fee in case you file a copyright, trademark, patent, and also those fees have to be, in some case, perpetual also. After every year, you have to pay the fee for maintaining your ownership. That's it. Now there are certain parameters on which your IP physical property is different from your intellectual property, or I would say intellectual property is different from conventional or physical forms of property. First types, in case of intellectual property, as per the Indian system, there are 7 direct and 1 indirect. 8 well-defined forms of IP are there. But in case of physical property, it can be exceeding 8. For example, if I see how many things are there in this room, there is a glass, there is a plastic, there is a aluminium, there is a, I would say, there may be a that silicon, there may be a gold, there may be a silver. That's it. As many as elements as there are there in the periodic table, those kind of types are there in case of physical property. That's it. But there is a fabric. That's it. There is a zipper, iron. That's it. So in case of physical property, it can be different, exceeding 8. But in case of intellectual property, it is 7 plus 1, 8 well-defined forms of IP will be there as per the Indian system, Indian IP ecosystem. Valuation in case of intellectual property, not easy. How much worth your creation is? It is not easy. But in case of physical property, comparatively easy. Theft, not at all difficult. You share your idea with me. I have the knowledge of IP. I get it protected in my name. I sell in the market. Theft, not at all difficult. You, for example, some of you also may do. I have a hobby. I write certain poems, and I write poems, and somebody else pitches it. It is his poem, couplet. That's it, and he launches a book, compilation. That's it. So not at all theft, not at all difficult. But physical property, it is not easy. The effect of time on value, in case of intellectual property, it usually decreases and in many cases ends with time. But in case of physical property, it may increase or decrease depending upon type of the property. So it is a matter of supply and demand. For the resources where supply is more, demand is less, its value will depreciate. Like you wish to buy a two-wheeler, four-wheeler, more than 10 brands are there in the market. The moment you bring the car out, we say that it's 20%, 15 to 20% value is depreciated. But if you say housing, housing for all, potable drinking water, that's it, in remote areas, its value will increase. You are a tourist, you go to maybe Jaisalmer, you wish to enjoy a water, potable drinking water, they ask for you 100 rupees, you have to pay 50 rupees, 20 rupees, 25, you have to pay. That's it. So increases or decreases according to the type of the property. Now, what are the different mechanisms as per the Indian IP ecosystem through which you can get your intellectual work protected? They're covered. I would say not the word protected, covered. Patents, copyrights, trademarks, industrial design, layout design for integrated circuit, geographical indication, protection of new plant varieties, and trade secrets. Okay. When we refer to patents, a patent is an exclusive right granted by the government to the original inventor, developer, researcher of an invention which prohibits others from making, using, or selling that invention. Copyrights are a set of exclusive rights granted by the law to the creators and producers of forms of creative expressions such as literary, musical, and cinematographic works. अब मैं थोड़ा सा इसको with example elucidate कर देता हूँ आपको. That's it. Quickly. So, for example, you come out with a product or process. That's it. For that, you can get a patent. But for anything to be patentable, it must satisfy the 3 criteria. First, it shall be novel. Novelty means it shall be new to the world. That's it. Second, it shall have non-obbviousness, means inventive step. Non-obvious to the person skilled in the art. मीन्स ऐसा कोई चीज़ नहीं होनी चाहिए मैंने बनाई और सामने जो उसी डोमेन के लोग हैं वो एग्जैक्ट रेप्लिका बना के मेरे सामने खड़ी कर दे. एंड सेकंड थर्ड थिंग, इट शैल हैव इंडस्ट्रियल एप्लीकेशन. इट शैल सर्व सम पर्पस इन द सोसाइटी दैट पीपल शैल बी रेडी टू buy it, procure it. That's it. Copyrights are a set of exclusive rights granted by the law to the creator and producer of forms of creative expression such as literary, musical, and cinematographic work. आप पोएम लिखते हो, आप डायरी मैनेजमेंट का प्रोसीजर बनाते हो, आप एक अच्छा सा अपना डिस्प्ले, यू मेक अ डिस्प्ले रेडी फॉर योर लैब, they can be protected under your copyrights. You make a video film, you make a presentation, yeah, that can be protected under your copyrights. You write a book, novel, it can be protected, it is coverable under copyright. Trademark. A trademark is a word or a symbol adopted and used by a manufacturer or a merchant to identify his goods and distinguish them from those manufactured and sold by others, like Nike, Tick and Nike. Puma, symbol of Puma and Puma, combination of word. And Mercedes, travel with the star. Star within a circle and a punchline. That's it. Industrial design. It refers to a specific shape, configuration, surface, pattern, or color or combination thereof, which produces an aesthetic impression of that. वो आपका इंडस्ट्रियल डिजाइन के अंदर कवर होता है. Layout design for integrated circuits refer to the specific manner in which transistors and other circuitry elements of an IC are laid out in a semiconductor IC, and also includes laid wires connecting such elements. That can be protected under layout design integrated circuit, and there is a separate act. All these protections mechanisms are in the form of act of parliament. So when we refer to patent, there is an Indian Patent Act. When you refer to copyrights, Indian Copyright Act. When you refer to get protection under trademark, it is that it has to be governed by Indian Trademarks Act. Like layout design for integrated circuit, you have Semiconductor Integrated Circuit Layout Design Registry, SICLDR 2000. Its head office is in Delhi. That's it. There was one I would say leverage that we can enjoy. Even if your product is in market since 2 years, within 2 years, and you can prove that this is your electronics creation, that's it. You can get get protection over it. In case of layout design integrated circuit. Geographical indications. Geographical indications of goods are defined as that aspect of intellectual property which relate to goods or products originating from a particular geographical region situated in a particular country. That's it. Protection of new plant varieties is refers to the legal rights granted by the government for protection of plant varieties, rights of farmers and plant breeders. And trademarks, trade secret is referred to the proprietary information having commercial application and value. Trade secrets are not directly provisioned in India. It is protected indirectly through non-disclosure agreement or confidentiality agreement. Non-disclosure agreement means you will not disclose the agreement, the content to any other person without the consent of the organization for which you are working. Now we come to the important aspects. Now I will slow down a bit because there are many things to be covered. IPI conduct one full week programs on intellectual property rights, and several programs over the years we have conducted. So I wish to cover it by 1:15. All the things I wish to cover today with you. So that's why I was speeding it up. So sorry for that. Now I will slow down a bit. In context of print learning material, copyrights are the pertinent one, and Section 13 of the Copyright Act 1957, with due consideration to the latest amendments, provides for work in which copyright subsists. So these are as per 2018, till amendments till 2018. So this presentation I compiled was way back in 2018 for the Swayam MOOCs. So there may be certain amendments after that also. So that can be checked through the Indian Copyright Office website through different notification of Government of India. But it was, what does Section 13 says? Illustratively, the subsection 1 of Section 13 gives, subject to the provisions of this section and the other provisions of this act, copyright shall subsist throughout India in the following classes of work. That is to say, कौन कौन से कैटेगरीज में कॉपीराइट आपको मिल सकता है? ओरिजिनल लिटरेरी, dramatic, musical, and artistic work, or it may be in the form of cinematographic films, or it may be in the form of your sound recording. That's it. What does Section 2O of the Copyright Act 1957, with due consideration to the latest amendment, gives? Literary work includes computer programs, tables, and compilation, including computer databases. So no doubt, your algorithm may not be covered under patents, but your algorithms can be protected under copyrights. That's it. This definition is an inclusive definition and therefore not exhaustive one. It includes, but there may be limitations also. For example, a dissertation, your thesis, since it includes tables and compilation, is therefore a prima facie a literary work. That's it. A thing written or printed such as books on various subjects, novels, drama, poetry, anthology, critique, excerpts with comments, etc. are examples of literary work. For example, there is a movie. There is a movie of 3.5 hours. You make a 15 minutes review of that movie. That is your intellectual work. There is a book. You make a summary of that book. That is your intellectual creation. Literary work. You can get the protection, copyright over it under literary work. The word original. What is important? An important thing I have covered over here of the act. The word original doesn't mean that the work must be the expression of original or invented thought. ओरिजिनल डजंट मीन दैट जो किसी का वर्क है वो वैसा ही आपने ओरिजिनल काम किया है. Copyright acts are not concerned with the origin of ideas, but with the expression of thoughts. And in case of literary work, with the expression of thoughts in print or writing. What is the difference between literary and other copyright work? Means in other video form, it can be a video clip. Cinematographic sound recording, it can be on a tape. But in case of literary work, it is normally in context of expression in context of print or written. Print may be written, may be handwritten. Print may be using any software, MS Office or any other tool on a paper. है ना? The originality required relates to the thoughts expressed. Thoughts expression that shall be original. Now, copyright is a very strong right also. It is a very weak right also. How? Now, the question shall be that if it is a book, copyright says that I can't, as such, photocopy that book. I can't take the image of that book. But reading that book, I can write my own summary. I can write on my own book. My expression shall be original. The color combination, print format, red color, blue color, background graphics that I choose, that expression shall be original. For that, protection will be provided to you. Now, whenever we write research papers, there are two things: one legal implication, one moral implication. Legal and moral. When plagiarism checks that your sentences should not be exact, same to the already published one. That you convert active to passive to active. It is done. But morally, it is not correct. Morally, it says that we shall follow referencing style. And referencing style means it may be citation style, referencing in text citation and in references citation style. It can be IEEE. In case of your technical works, normally we follow. In case of management works, we generally follow American Psychological Association, APA referencing style. How the work will be referred in text while writing a paper and how that work will be referred in references. But here, one thing I wish to pitch before you. Let us complete this first. The originality required relates to the thoughts expression. Further, the act doesn't require the expression must be in a novel or an original form, but the work must not be the copied one from another work. It shall not be the copied from another person's work.
Basically, the idea may not be original, but the expression is required to be
original. That shall be your own. That it should originate from the author. That is at the base of copyright. An exhibition of a film. Another example, an exhibition of a film in a television through videotape in which the cinematographic film is recorded will be the subject matter of copyright protection. A VCR, which is used for playing a pre-recorded cassettes of movie, similarly will also be subject matter of copyright protection because it is a recording playing device. In respect of cinematographic films, the word original is missing in the section. Why? Because in a film, a particular actor cannot claim any copyrights, and hence the actor performance is not copyrighted. Got it? That's it. I repeat. For example, I write a poem, you go into a college function and you narrate it. You can narrate it in your own sense. Morally, it is wrong if you do not acknowledge the source. But that person can't claim that my performance that I'm delivering shall be copyrighted. On a video cassette, that performance will become subject matter of copyright, but actor's performance, live performance, will not be a subject matter of copyright. That's it. In other words, a sign artist in a film doesn't. That's okay. Great. Beautiful question. Sir has asked a question. That question shall come to every academician. That, for example, if somebody's work is there, if somebody's work is there, and I wish to, what to what extent I can copy that work. Legally, there is no limit. Legally, there is no limit. Why? For example, I will give you a live example. I teach technology management to my students. Earlier, I was not aware. That's it. But the moment I got into touch with copyrights, IPs, I realized that I have to teach technology management into class. Some author has worked several years of his life working in that domain, and he has come up with a book. I do not have to prove my knowledge to my students. I do not have to pitch that this work is mine. I just wish to explain that work, disseminate that work to my class. So whenever you make a PPT, that's it. I follow now. I follow American Psychological Association referencing style. So this PPT background color and everything is chosen by me. Content is typed by me in my own hand, but still I acknowledge. Inverted comma. What does it say? APA referencing style. If you are using as such the work of the author, you put the two inverted quotations and you mention the surname, comma, year of publication, comma, page number also. If you are using exact replica of the statement. So since in my classroom teaching, I do not have to prove anything to my students. I do not have to give them a novel work. I have to explain a concept to them. So rightful way is whenever you take a work of any author, you put an inverted comma, use as such their work, and put a referencing in text citation. On each slide, you will find it. Exact copy. And it is a book. So mine copy I have either I will procure from library or I will purchase it. We shall not distribute its photocopy. Online. Online. Yes, two things. I will come to that. First, I am explaining you how it shall be. Normally, we never do this. We never do this. No, none of my teachers said you do it. It came to me intuitively that this can be done. Because when I present it over here, people shall know this is a Khalil work. Even it is easy for my students. If they wish to comprehensively grasp the concept, they will go to that direct page number. You got it?
Another question originates from this question. Like, this is the exercise you are doing for academic usage. There is no commercial intent involved.
That's it.
Supposedly, somebody is authoring a book.
That's it.
He proposed to, and he is using excerpts from some foreign authors. Maybe some pictorial illustration.
That's it. Great.
Some flowchart or something is there.
Great.
So how do we use that?
Great. Perfect.
Without violating the
copyrights. So ma'am's question is very pertinent. I repeat so that it reaches everyone. So ma'am's question is that many times we have to take excerpts or certain portion flowcharts from certain for commercial uses. So what does IP says? IP says if IP's core is that intention is that to give the award and reward to the original author, name also, and the part of that monetary incentive also. So in that case, you will write an email. You shall write an email to that author. If you wish to do it for commercial purpose, write an email, take an approval from it, him or her.
And that would be the
rightful way.
I've seen many books coming up, local books.
Another example I will share.
Small distributors, and I don't know whether they are taking the.
So now I will explain it with another example. So my hobby is many hobbies I have. So one of my hobby is whenever I get when I get maybe uh, hit by the system, negativities in the system, over a night I read a book. See, I finish a book, I read a book. Then another hobby is that I convert that book into one chart, one page or two page. That's it. So that is my creation. So I keep copyright over it. You got it? So I will share, for example, one book I read. So what I do, two books read, I make presentation with my own hand, duly acknowledging the authors in the PPTs like this. I convert them into a 1 week training program. When I conduct a training program, I have to give certain assignments to my participants. Like this program is going on, I develop templates, formats using my own resources. This laptop is my own. MS Office is my owned, not using the organizational resources. That's it. Great. Then I create that template and I keep the copyright with me, and I use it for a service cause. Service means to promote something good in the society. Like I have created a vision mission tool, my life dashboard. So this is a, I have analytical skills, I have a good comprehension. I thought that this tool can be used, and this tool is being used pan world. It is being circulated, but I have not put anywhere over the web yet. That's it. But what I did, I named it as my life dashboard. That's it. So it can be printed. I say to students, I do not charge any money for giving you this tool. You take it, you take a flex print, put it in your rooms. That's it. There is nothing in life you can't achieve if you use this tool for your vision and mission setting. There is nothing, that example I have given. I have created a tool. You will fail, but automatically it will take care of all of the things, basic things. And it is a summing up of that book, my intellectual creation, clubbed with that book, converted into this format. You got it? So what I did, I kept copyright with me. The moment you create any work, by default, even if you do not register it, that copyright subsists with the author. So copyright, Amardev Singh, 2020, all rights reserved. Great. Now, since I have, with an inspiration drawn from somebody, one of my friend, I have added one decision point. So whenever I take oral sessions, I acknowledge him. That when I was interacting with over a telephone with him in way back in 2007, so this came to my mind, and today I have used it in this tool. That's it. Even he will not be aware of Sachiv from Banga, है ना? He will not be aware of, but I acknowledge that when I was having an interaction with him, this came to me, and in 2020 I converted it. I used it in that tool. That's it. So, but I acknowledge that original work also about this tool. This practical tool, that's it. If you read downstairs, I will zoom it up. This practical tool has been developed by Amardev Singh, Assistant Professor, Nature Sector 26, Chandigarh, with inspiration drawn from the work of William J. Raleigh, entitled How to Get What You Want Out of Life, Discover the Secrets of Financial, Physical, and Mental Well-Being, HarperCollins Publisher, original works published in 1957. Copyright. Copyright. Sure.
If you said, okay, I would concept the copyright.
That's it.
Suppose I want to put some payment on it.
That's it.
So what should I do?
You shall include some process, operational, tangible component with it. For example, an algorithm for an dispensing out of machine from an ATM may not be patentable, but ATM machine is patentable. Another example I will share. I have not brought it over here. Normally I carry a bag. So one AICT workshop is going to come up 22nd to 26th June. In auditorium I will display. If anyone of you may be willing, you will come, because I have one collection of one bag. I have purchased several products, and whenever I conduct a session on IP, I display those products, and then I conduct a session. That's it. So now that dimension has added to manifold things. So in that master class, I will display all things because it is in Native Chandigarh. So 6 programs identified by under Prime Minister's vision to be conducted pan India. So it is one of that program. So I will bring a full car full of all those products and I will display, and then I will explain what design thinking is. So recent addition to my gadgets is one is a portable printer, mini printer, thermal printer. That's it, 2,000 rupees for kids. It is very good. So printer, for example, when I give a print command, it through a Bluetooth, it will give you a print. So for me and my younger daughter, 4 years, I clicked a photo and I took a black and white print and I gave her. She was very happy. But for myself, for what purpose I have bought? For managing my day in day out works to do list. I will take a screenshot, take a print, keep it in my pocket. What works I have to finish today? Because every time opening laptop, closing laptop is a very cumbersome procedure for me. That's it. So printer software, that gives a easiness to print may not be a subject matter of patent, but it is integrating with another device, and that developer that has developed it only, that software works with those printers, those companies printing devices. So what they have done is they have clubbed it, that our range of products will be able to use this algorithm, so they will earn money. One example. Another example, I bought another printer. Many times I go for conducting different training programs. What I found that for when I invite external resource person, so we have to get their honorarium form signed, TADA form signed. I have to give the honorarium form in a pen drive. Somebody will take through pen drive or email, then come back. So I thought, why not buy a portable printer? In a 12,000 rupees, I have got a portable printer that can be carried in a bag. And A4 sheets you will print. There, the innovation is where it doesn't use ink. There is no cartridge because it uses only print head, and heat, thermal. And the innovation is with a thermal paper. And thermal paper is like, you in a bus ticket, you find ticket is printed, retail shop retail is printed. But what happens is, the innovation lies that somebody experimented with the paper quality. Can we make this paper life last for 4 years? So if I wish to buy a thermal paper, 100 sheet may be available for 250 rupees. But a thermal paper that will last for 4 years cost 450 rupees or 700 rupees. And there is another innovation. If you use a trace paper, one more paper is there, something like it. I bought that one roll also. So it will print on two papers. One that you will use, another it will retain your script for longer duration, maybe 20 years, 30 years. So somebody experimented with the standard papers format, and it must be a patent. That device is a subject matter of patent. Printer, small printer. It can take two types of input. One, circular paper, you put it roll within the printer. Another, in banks, foldable papers. I put input in office, it will. And why they have given that provision? Because when you will take a rolled paper out, it will fold. It will be like this curve. So, but while I am traveling, I will put it in a file. While coming back to Chandigarh, it will automatically straighten up. So no issues. Hai na? And 4 year life will do. Under RTI, you have to keep a record for 5 years. For processing of bills, 4 year is sufficient. Got it? So whenever you have to come up with any algorithm, you come up with a certain workable device with it. Hardware. For hardware, you can get the paper.
Like in suppose making a
Okay.
want a tourism.
Okay. Okay, great.
And
Don't disclose it over here. Don't disclose it over here. Another thing I wish
no,
to.
no, I have created. I
Okay.
have
No, no,
created.
don't disclose.
Okay, sir. I've just
Don't disclose your
just
Don't.
idea basically.
Because if
I'm
it
just
goes
not
into
disclosing.
public,
I'm not
okay.
disclosing. I want to know that
Okay.
I can go for patent or not.
Okay.
Suppose I'm just creating an Android app
Hmm.
for the tourism. My app is giving information about the route
Hmm.
and use it.
Ah.
So it will come in the patent or the copyright?
Business methods, as if now in India, are not patentable.
Yes.
There.
But it comes under patent
No.
or copyright.
In Indian, you have to cover it under copyrights.
So, but not doing patent for software.
As if not. No.
Yeah.
No.
Not
That's why
doing
it is.
hardware patent.
It
Huh.
has to
That's
be
why.
related with
That's
the
why it has to
process.
be copyrights.
It's come copyright. If they are going patent, then
That's
you
it.
need to contact.
Another a route you have to follow. There are two routes: conventional filing, PCT route filing. So in another, people what they do, for example, something is not protectable as per Indian law, so they go into the conventions. Under that particular convention, if you get a protection, all the member countries, it becomes valid in all the member countries. So you choose the right path, which benefits you the most. It is on that. Huh? You got the point? Good. Okay. Any other question as if now? Any other questions? Yes. Yes.
Like you said, I got a one poem,
Okay.
and it is narrated by somebody else.
Else.
In some
Great.
context and like
Great.
that.
Great.
So it comes under copyright or
Beautiful.
something else?
So I will share one personal example without naming anyone. So there was one event going on in NITO Chandigarh. So there, in one of the event, we invited one of the chancellors of vice chancellor or chancellor of one of the university, central university, and he was Padam Shri awarded, if I'm not wrong. And one of his scholar, she came to meet him. She knew that he is in Chandigarh, and she identified that I am close to sir because I was in touch because sir's son is my friend. That's it. So uh, so she became tried to befriend me. She became my friend. Good, I would say old lady. That's it. And she's a writer. She's a writer, and she writes in Punjabi different works. And she said, "Beta, she's a war veteran survivor also, if I'm not wrong." And she said, "Beta, you help me in my social case." I said, "Ma'am, how can I help you?" She said, "We are organizing one event in. If we can organize in Knitter." I said yes, but no, not Knitter. They were organizing in Press Club, but food arrangement they wish to get it done through me. Okay, I said I will help. Then she said, "Can you help me with photography during the session?" Because the photographer, videographer is asking for so much money. I said, yes, why not? I did all the photography and everything. But if I do it with my mobile, that copyright of that photograph is also with me. That's it. But anyhow, we do not worry about it. It goes to different newspaper, published, different several Punjabi actors came, writers came, Chandigarh Judicial Academy in charge, retired head came. Everyone was there. Everyone that event was going very good. I was enjoying their company. Everything was there. So I thought I also write now. My writings are a bit refined. So why not I take guidance from her? So can I convert my compilation into work? So what I do, I do not write. I do not used to write in Hindi. So, for example, somebody has put a status as a reply. I will write a poem, couplet. So I write in English, using English as the lipi, but I write in Hindi. है ना? Meaning is in Hindi. So when I sent her the creation, she said, "You send me the creation." Couple of creation I sent. I sent. She said, "ऐसे भी कोई poem लिखता है? ऐसा कोई poem लिखता है? It is not a poem. You are writing Hindi poem in English." I said, whatever that thought is coming, it is coming in that moment, in particular frame. If I think about, I shall bring out a paper and then I will write. By that time, all the thought will go on. So, so what I found is, whenever I messaged her, I write message that work copyright Amardev Singh that day, even on WhatsApp, because because she is into kind of work. I asked her previously before sharing anything with her, what kind of compilation you come up with. She said, I come up with a compilation own creations. If somebody has written in some other language, I translate them and publish them into Hindi. My another question was, in your compilation, I never saw in your book that you have referred to the any other person. You got it? You got what I am pitching? Somebody has written in Farsi, she will convert it into Hindi, and she will publish a book. But that author deserves acknowledgement. That author deserves name. And if she is selling a book, that author deserves a part of the money. Then I stopped. I kept it to myself. I'm not saying that she is doing wrong. Maybe in some other compilation she is doing under an arrangement. She must be acknowledging them or paying them the money. But that was not my cup of tea. So I kept my compilation to me only, for my friends only. है ना? So Three Idiots, it happened. है ना? Chetan Bhagat. You got it. So it is there. है ना? So any other question? Any other question? Sure. Any other question from here? Okay. Any other question? हाँ, sure. Okay. बहुत बढ़िया सर ने क्वेश्चन पूछा है कि is IPR for India only or is it is an international law? So the answer to that is many times there shall be a question. Many times we say that Indian society was governing everything. We were into everything, and other person has stolen our everything. But I say that it is our plight that the other countries people make their scholars learn Sanskrit, because original Vedas were in Sanskrit, and Rig Veda, if I am not wrong, has all the product knowledge. That's it. But we are unable to find a job for our people who have done MA Sanskrit. So it is our wrong thing that we lost our touch roots. I belong to a Sikh family. If I have to decode Gurmukhi Lipi, I have to depend upon some translator. That's it. So all these things started when the developed, when we were being ruled over and we became independent. All the front, those countries, those who were leading, they were taking the lead. They started standardizing the things. Like if you see copyright, its origin can be traced back several hundred years back to UK, Europe. That's it. So 18th century, they started formalizing it. In another PPT, if I show you, Galileo was granted for a first patent for an irrigation machine. It was not a telescope. That's it. But another thing I would like to share over here is Swami Vivekananda was the one person who went abroad and he got acknowledged. Why? One of his friend sponsored his visit, and when he was there in Chicago, he met another person. He exchanged views with him. That person gave Swami Vivekananda ji a recommendation letter. Based on that recommendation letter, he got an opportunity to pitch his ideas in a event that was the World Religious Conference, and there his ideas was appreciated. क्या हमारे दादा, grandfather, forefathers were not intellectual? They were, but Swami Vivekananda ji was a person with a different attitude. He went, he spoke, he came back, was celebrated. He brought back the funding for the Indian scientists. Another thing, the answer lies over here. When World Religious Conference was being held, it means World Intellectual Property Conference would have been held. Science and Technology Conference would have been held. Nobody will say, for example, you take domestic help. Very few will say you cook and sit on the table and have food with us. Some will say have food with us. Some will say you cook and have food in the kitchen. Some will say take it to your house. When one country is being ruled by another country, the second ruling country will never say to the being ruled that you come and we wish to make the world intellectual property standards and you pitch your ideas. It is on you that you pitch yourself. So when we say that IPRs, all these rights are territorial. Territorial means if I wish to, I come out with a good device, heart pacemaker, let us say, innovative, and if I have to earn the revenue and sell revenue from the US market, I have to file a patent in the US. Only then legally I can take the profit back. So there is a pitch. If somebody studies the Indian patent database, That's it. And you have not filed a patent in US, and it is also out of domain of international patent filing. That months, those years, anyone from there can use your idea and launch a product or service over there. Morally, it is wrong. Ethically, it is wrong. Legally, it is not wrong. In the same way, vice versa. Some technology that was invented and protected in US but didn't find its life in US, it is relevant in India. Rightful way shall be, you shall email that person your idea, though it is out of protection, but I wish to use it for my society, solving the problem in my society, and acknowledge it. But legally, you are not wrong. So all these rights are, that's a टेरिटोरियल, बट इंटरनेशनल पेटेंट फाइलिंग का प्रोसीजर है, आईपी फाइलिंग है डिफरेंट. कॉपीराइट्स के केस में भी डिफरेंट कन्वेंशन हैं, अगर डिटेल पढ़ेंगे बर्ने कन्वेंशन एंड अदर्स ऐसे कन्वेंशन हैं. Okay, that's it. Great. So I will come to that question also. Then one question was left. One question was about answer to response was left. It came to my mind immediately, but again it vanished. You asked something. It was related to that. But if I come, I will explain it back. So the next question came is next question we have with us is that what about the monetary sharing? So monetary sharing, it is being said that whenever you come out with any inventions, if you work in an organization, because in a government organization, I can't file patent in my own name. I can only file if I get the no objection certificate from my head of my institution. That I prove. That's I have MS Office with me. This is my license version. I use internet. That is my paid. This is a bill I pay. Device, this is my own purchase. And in my evening times, hometown, I have come up with. But I can't force it. I can only request him that provide me NOC. If the head of the institution provide you NOC in government organization, then you can file patent. You can become applicant on your own. Otherwise, by default, your organization has to be your applicant. But when organization has to be applicant, there are two columns. One is applicant name, one is inventor name. Inventor name, your name shall be there. But all the financial decisions can be taken by applicant only. So when your name was there, comes into inventor's name, it means you have got the acknowledgement. One part is covered. Now financial part is left. The financial part, it is being pitched that your organization shall have the agreements in place with the inventors. If being applicant, they take the ownership, your name is there in inventory, they try to sell the product in the market, you can challenge them in the court that they are not paying me, they have not set the terms and conditions with me. So another important thing comes into picture when dealing with intellectual property, that is your knowledge of Indian Contracts Act, how agreements have to be framed and which type of agreement you have to. Got it? That's it. So it is being pitched in all the organization, especially in government organization. You first make your entrepreneurship policy, you make your IP policy, then you shall have all those agreements in place with your inventors, and then later on the commercialization angle comes in. If you are working in a private organization, do it you using own resources, no issues. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? If you have, anyone has any other question? Okay. So this was about what I wish to share. Now I'm coming back to the presentation. That's it. So coming back to the presentation and sharing that component back. I hope my screen is visible to our colleagues who are attending it online. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Any questions from our online friends? Any questions from your side? Abhishek Milan sir, welcome. Most welcome. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Abhishek sir.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
Am I audible, sir?
You're audible. Any questions from your side?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
No, sir.
Okay. Coming back to the presentation part, that's it. So, in film, a particular actor cannot claim any copyrights, and hence actor performance is not copyrighted. In other words, a sign artist in a film doesn't have a copyright protection. Ownership of the copyright and the rights of the owner. About that, the author of a work shall be the first owner of the copyright therein, but conforming to the section 17 and the clauses and sub-clauses, if any, therein. That's it. What does how much is the term of copyright, tenure of the copyright? The section 22 of the Copyright Act 1957, with due consideration to the latest amendments, provides for the terms of copyright in published literary, dramatic, musical, and artistic works. What does it say? Except as otherwise hereinafter provided, copyright shall subsist in any literary, dramatic, musical, or artistic work published with the lifetime of the author until 60 years from the beginning of the calendar year next following the year in which the author dies. For example, you are the copyright owner, you die October 2023, 1st January 2024, till 60 years. That ownership will be with you. Even if you have nomination filed, royalty has to be given to the nominee. It was with the case of Rabindranath Tagore's work, Gitanjali, and all of that. That's it. Explanation. In this section, the reference to the author shall, in case of a work of joint authorship, be construed as a reference to the author who dies last. अगर 4 लोगों ने काम किया, तो चारों में से जो लास्ट में मरेगा, उसकी डेथ के नेक्स्ट कैलेंडर ईयर 1 जनवरी से 60 ईयर्स तक वो प्रोटेक्शन उनके साथ रहेगा. दैट इज द बेस्ट पार्ट ऑफ योर, है ना, copyright. That's it. And disclaimer, I acknowledge the work of various authors, organizations, and institutions available from secondary sources. Further, it is advised to refer to the learning resources listed in the e-content for this session for a more comprehensive understanding of the theme covered in this presentation. Thank you. That's it. So with this, I close my formal presentation. But I will show you one more thing over here is, along with it, what content I created. That's it. So I didn't took the full module because I do not wish to be the whole coordinator, but I wish to learn process. So I made multiple copies and I kept on sharing it with the overall Swayam coordinator, and he kept checking the Turnitin and sending it back. So the next question was how much version that was left unanswered. So the question is, it is the subject matter of that particular publication. How much value it wishes to pitch to the audience. For example, if they wish to pitch that their journal focuses on hardcore innovative research, they will say that no word shall be copied. 2 words per manuscript. But normally it is being said that for publication work, 10 to 15% is allowed. Normal. But if you go to 10 to 50% of plagiarism, but not continues in a sentence case.
Finally, I'm checking grammar.
That's it.
So both are different.
That's it.
If I'm just taking a 5 word
That's it.
and grammarly say it's okay.
That's it.
But if I'm checking on turnitin, I'm just taking 3 words from another publication that is called plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
But similarly, on Grammarly, it is said it is not plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
So I think it depends on the software.
It depends upon what settings you have preserved. In Turnitin, you can do 5 words, 3 words, 2 words. You can set on your own. There is option. There is option. You check it out. That's it. Similarity index, you can give the exceptions. In Grammarly, I have not explored yet. That's it. It is all a question of algorithm. So options are given. How much sentences, words are allowed.
But I believe that connectors.
So accordingly, when publication has said you something, based on that, you will choose that setting in Turnitin, and then they will generate the plagiarism report. And that plagiarism report has to be shared. Okay, yes. Okay, yes.
I think like for sentence forming or writing any manuscript, something the connectors or prepositions would be said.
Beautiful. So what happened? I use it. So in this case, what I did, plagiarism was I was able to bring it down to 3% level. But 3% level, I'm showing you a live example. 3%, but the non-content is mine. Mine is expression. Mine is expression. Expression part, color combination, written part. typed in my own handwriting. I have not downloaded any PDF online and copied it from there. No, I have typed the whole Word document, these 11 pages on my own. But though yet Swayam, it has to be given as a part to the Swayam. I do not wish to prove that it is a scholarly work. So what I did, rearranged. I have to pass on the information and knowledge about IPRs, but I have acknowledged the author using APA referencing style. So wherever it is mine work, no acknowledgement, it will go from mine statement. But wherever it is a work of a Bansal and Bansal 2013, from that book, I have acknowledged it. Since it is not a direct copy, it is not in inverted comma. Because language, I have reframed in my language, the learning from that book. But yet, still, legally, didn't violate anything. But yet, morally, I have put their names. Because this this has been taken from based on their book. These conventions, international copyright treaties, conventions relevant in context of copyright, sound recordings, and all has also been listed over there. Defining copyrights. Couple of examples I brought in that I used to take examples in lectures orally, but I wished it also get protected somewhere, dealing with classroom situation. So I put it in over here. Automatically, it became my copyright. Hai na? Those examples. If somebody has to refer, they have to refer me indirectly. Hai na? Then this chart is there. This chart was there by Central for Self for IPR Promotion and Management. No date. They have based on their knowledge with the Government of India. They have made this chart. So I got that publication. There was no publication date, nothing. Even then, I have mentioned them. Source Self for IPR Promotion and Management, no date. But even this chart is not directly copied from them. I have made this chart in my own handwriting, and I have clubbed it together. Used these things, the boxes of my own choice, and also I have to elucidate that this I have done on my own. I didn't make it black. I made red as outer line. You got it? That's it. And even then, I didn't put a copyright over it because I do not wish to claim the copyright over this material. And that's it. Because it is a just compilation for the benefit of the society. That's it. I compiled this material. But yet, followed all the moral things and also put my name as compiler only. You got it? This is what another important thing, how we shall stop ourselves inadvertently from copying the data. Whenever you search over the internet, what you can do is one only summing up. Now I am summing up my learnings. What I do now, you have very less time and you have to give the PPTs. That's it. So whenever I have to make good pie charts, flow charts, everything. So there are graphic designers who have put those materials as a package for sale. Infographics. So I have purchased those infographics and that license is with me. So for example, if I have to give a PPT in some institution on an invite where I will get the money, I will use those infographics because I have purchased and I have a license to use it. And I know that I will get some honorarium, some good honorarium. So अगर 5,000 3,000 देके मैं infographics खरीदता हूँ, क्या बुरा है? I'm earning also, na? So I purchase infographic licenses and I use it, and I spend more time in making a PPT when I will get paid highly. That's it, in a rightful way. And for making the presentations for routine teaching as a service, like I'm doing over here, that's it. So what I do is I have made one sample draft presentation and I have kept this presentation and these all things templates in each of my folder in every month. For a year performance, I have a folder for every month, and in every month, every teaching folder, I have kept this standard PPT, because whenever I will make a new PPT for a new theme, I will use this template. And when I use this template, I need not recall, remember, or worry about how to cite it. all different types of citation I have kept in this PPT. How to cite a website data, how to cite a report, how to cite a newspaper report, how to cite a book, how in text citation, one style, another style, third style, fourth style. Here you will not find, you will find it journally, है ना? But in the list, in the references, if you see, one may be a government website, another may be a report, है ना? Another may be a book, another may be a article. Because normally when we make a PPT, we do not go for research paper. If you make a PPT based on a research paper, if I start coming to teach IP with the research paper, every one of you would have slept by now. What I did, I used multiple things. I used a presentation, I used a Word document, I used a two-way classroom discussion. That's it. That's it. If time would have permitted, I would have used video also and demo also, products also. That's it. So to how to teach a boring subject in an interesting way. That's it. That's it. Okay, Abhishek sir, welcome. Questions? Sir, you are not audible. Let me see if
Abhishek sir, you can ask your question. You are unmuted, but we cannot hear
Sir,
you.
sir,
yes,
am I
yes,
audible to you?
Yes,
you
yes,
are
please go
audible
ahead.
now,
Sir,
sir. Abhishek.
sir, while writing a research paper, we usually copy the content and change the sentence, such as synonyms and voices, and we write the paper
That's
to
it.
pass the plagiarism.
That's it.
Is this coming copyright or not? But the
Uh,
sense was same of the paper.
no, sir, it is wrong. It shall not be done. It shall not be done. So let me see if I have kept that also over here. Uh, help retrieve. Okay. Uh, just let me see. Now nowadays, what I am doing is I am keeping that APA referencing style also in every folder. That's it. So you know that how to cite a subject. That's it, and you know where it is. Okay, it is not over there yet. Maybe in some other folder I have kept. So what I wish to say is, to Abhishek sir question that sir, it is wrong. Whenever you cite any person work, it shall be acknowledged. It shall be acknowledged,
Okay, sir.
and using different referencing style.
But
Let me
sir,
see.
if you want to publish a paper which changes the sentence and voices synonyms use, and it would qualify the plagiarism.
It is a wrong practice to do.
Ethically, that is wrong. But
It
we
is
do this.
legally it is not wrong, but ethically, morally it is wrong, and
Yes, sir.
it is wrong. It shall not be done. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question from anyone else?
So, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Sir, actually, suppose if you write one sentences in English, but in plagiarism checking, that words are repeated. It will be in some other journals. Okay, even if you write that in one sentence, how to overcome this type of problem, sir?
There is only one thing that you can do is to improve our I would say English communication, written communication, or for saying the same word we shall know what can be the synonyms. That's it. So it is their vocabulary, we shall have a very good vocabulary. That's it. And also if not, we shall use tools. That's it. Instead of using that tool that whole rewrite whole of your paper on its own, we shall, for example, whenever I write, first I make a structure of what is already there, what gap I wish to pitch in. I keep on putting all the data at one place, one Excel sheet I've developed, and then I start rewriting the things in my own language. So once you do it, I am sure how I started reading. I started reading when I was going in buses, traveling from Jalandhar to Patiala, Thapa University Patiala. It was 3.5 hour run. So whatever 700 800 papers I have read that at that time during 2 years, still I am using them, but I am yet to complete my PhD. I'm saying you a good example before you. a perfect example, bad example before you. Don't follow me, I would say. I'm not completing my PhD work because I have promised to myself, if I will do a good work, acknowledging everything, following all the things, or I will not do. That's it. है ना? So I'm improving, I'm learning. For example, how to identify what are the fake journals. I attend different sessions, and there is a one person who is doing good, Sumit Narula from Amethi, Lucknow, if I'm not wrong. He's doing a good work, and he has come up with an application, Android application, that will help you identify that whether this journal is a fake or predatory journal or a good journal. So that tool was not available 4 years back. Now it is available. Now Amardev has the knowledge of IP. I have a tool in place. Now I can write my thesis within 3 months. है ना? You can write. I can take that opportunity is also there. I can write using Chat GPT also. Nobody will know how it has happened. But that is a moral question that I will not use Chat GPT to complete my thesis. है ना? I will use the
Yes.
tools and techniques up to the impact. They shall be used ethical way, and there shall
Yes,
be
sir.
some contribution from my side. All of the data that I have collected for my PhD work has been collected through, most of the data has been collected through Google Forms, with capturing all the details. No data is first. No, even not 5 questionnaires are first. That's it. No single data is first. That's it. So it's natural when I'm following all these things, and when I will complete PhD, it may take 10 years. May have taken 10 years for me to complete. But when I will guide my students, it will be a very easy journey for them. And also I will make them that you do in rightful way. So to your answer, sir, if while writing it happens that your sentences are being caught up in a plagiarism, so first you see in Turnitin how much sentences similarity index option you have chosen. So you can reduce it. It shall be 3 or 4 words
Okay. Yes, sir.
in a sentence case.
Sir,
Another
in
thing is
any plug.
another thing is that you shall read more. The more you read, more option you will have, and
Okay.
make
Yes, sir.
your dictionary, make your notes for this. How I used to read newspapers. 5 words daily I will write. In through inference I drive what is the meaning. My verbal communication, you may have observed, is not good, that much good, I would say, because I have not do not have that much words to say the same thing, but my thought process is clear. But my written communication is apex, very good. I have mastered it, made my skill. Even my seniors, my department knows that he has a very good knowledge of policy. That's it. How to draft a letter. If he has resolved something, he will get it implemented. That's it. Because I use those skill sets. I made a skill. That's it. So you read novels, you read journal books away from your core works, different diverse combinations. When it comes to your own work, automatically there will be creativity and there will be innovation. That's it. It will not
Yes,
be a
sir.
copy. So I hope I answered, sir. Ramakrishna, sir, to
Yes,
some
sir. Yes, sir.
extent.
I got it, sir. Another thing is a small thing. Any free plagiarism tools available, sir? Instead of, because Turnitin is not a free
Okay.
plagiarism
So,
tools.
in this, I would like to have a different words with everyone. Anything you are speaking, anything you are writing is being captured. Even you have today all these Android devices, and if you see through the net, whatever I am speaking through my email, Google is capturing it. It is going to them. That's it. So what I see in context of any keyword you will type on Google for search will be captured. So there is a pitch, another pitch opportunity I share with you. If you wish to come up with any invention and innovation in your area, and that is going to be breakthrough, search with alternate keywords, allied words surrounding that. Don't go directly with your invention which you wish to name or work for, pitch for. So what I wish to say is, in that case, it is only that pre-plagiarism tool I would not like to name. You can search through the internet. There may be many, but I'm not sure whether they are actually the pre-plagiarism tool or they are capturing your data. है ना? They are the tools for capturing data and information. है ना? That's it. So what happens is, only thing I will suggest to you is, whenever you choose any research gap in your master's level or BTech level or PhD level, Don't do it based on the Google search. Base it on the patent search, Google patents, Indian Patent Office in past search, or different countries patent databases search. For example, my I will not name, but example share. One of my very close relative, he has joined Indian Army. So Indian Army, he said he couple of months back he sent me a message that can you share some material on angular deflection. So I said to him that angular deflection I couldn't search. I didn't have the time, but I would not have given him the or her the PDF. I would have given the link through the rightful means. You either purchase it or you download it from the public domain. So I asked him question. He said any missile I am working on in defense, I have to operate it first. है ना? I will operate it first or afterward. So I said to him, do you know about patents? He said no. What is it? I said we will have one online class and I will tell you what is Indian patent database and what are patents. And whenever you have to search anything about coming up with any problem in defense, you search the patent database and come out with a solution. But you have to acknowledge the original work also. That's it. So it is there. So what I wish to say is you do the search using the patent database. Make it a habit that you preach this to your students. For example, I preach it to my students. I try to follow in my life also. And even whenever anyone comes into your life, maybe a defense official, maybe any government official, maybe any person from AICT, from Ministry of Education, you preach the same thing to them. And if they have any issues, help them how they can do it in a rightful way. And I said that it is a two-way. We learn also, we are imparting learning. I may not be doing all things right. I may be doing something wrong. You can suggest me, sir, this can be done in this way, more in a better way and a legal way. And I will incorporate those changes. In the same way, you can do the same with yourself, with your students. That's it. Okay. For example, any image you copy from the website. So try to, if you wish to download any image and use it as a cover page of your book, that is the wrong thing to do. Either you make a login on the website where the free images are available. For example, I'm a good photographer. There are Pinterest or there are certain websites that they say that any amateur hobbyist can put their photographs online. I put somebody downloads and use my photograph. I download and use it. Or there are options you can purchase those photographs. Second, third option is also there. Like Facebook, you put any photograph on Facebook. I'm sure you while making an account on Facebook, you agree, you sign terms. I agree, terms and conditions. Your photograph is not your copyright. The moment you upload them, it means your copyright ownership is gone. That's there. If it is used for a wrong purpose, maybe for a wrong purpose later on, somebody is trying to put for example, nude photos of you using your face, then as per their bylaws policy, you can get it removed, but you can't legally convict that you have violated our copyright because somebody else is doing, and for that they will be holding them responsible, individual users. That's it. I hope I answered to some extent, sir. That's it. Ramakrishna, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank
Okay,
you, sir.
thank you.
Thank you. Valuable information.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you
so
so
much.
much. Okay. Any questions from any participants over here? Okay. Any questions? Okay. Any questions from online participants? So we are already about 15 minutes above our time. So I take this opportunity to thank you all for bearing me with so much of patience and being with me for this session. I thank all the participants who are here in physical for this session, and I thank all my colleagues who will be there bearing with me for 1 month as a part of technology management. That's it.